If you're running a business with a $2 to $30 million annual revenue, but you can't step away without everything falling apart, this is for you. Most entrepreneurs know how to sell. They know how to spot opportunities and turn them into revenue. But when it comes to managing by the numbers and creating systems that run the business without them, they're flying blind. Margins, cash flow, operating ratios, it's either confusing, delayed, or both. And without that clarity, it's hard to grow without burning out or maximizing out your capacity to keep things growing. So you end up working too many hours. You can't take time off. You try to systematize, but your team just doesn't get it. The bottom line is, if your business can't run without you, you are the bottleneck. I've helped over 400 businesses doing between 2 and 30 million in annual revenue, double the net profits in 9 to 12 months. Not through gimmicks, but through profit maximizing strategies and systems. 40 years of helping business owners install real, documented processes, the kind your team can run the business without you. We create actionable financial data in the form of weekly dashboards so you actually see what's going on in real time. You can make corrections during the month rather than finding out there were problems in this month, next month when you're reviewing financial statements. And when all that's running, we help you design the business you actually want long term, because now you've got the time and the headspace to think about it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this in your business too. We're going to walk through a simple framework that helps you cut waste, raise your margins, build real systems your team can run, and finally get clarity on your numbers without needing a finance degree. Have you ever wondered how much your business would be affected by making small changes in a number of areas? I want to show you what's called a simulator to the Profit Accelerator software platform. I can show you if you affect 12 different areas of your business or use 12 strategies to enhance your profitability, it'll also enhance your cash flow, how big a difference just small percentages can make in affecting your business. So I'm going to share my screen here. The Profit Simulator says, could it be everything that you've learned about building a successful business be wrong? Increase 12 areas in your business by a meager 1.4% and your profits will double. That's based on a 10% margin. I don't know what your margin is, but that's kind of the average nationwide. The key to understanding is exponential growth. If you take a penny and double it every day for 30 days, you'll be more than a millionaire. You'll have $5.3 million. That's pretty astounding, starting with a penny and just doubling it. The same thing applies when you start looking at different areas of your income statement. So let's just say you have a business and you've got $5 million of annual revenue. Say you have a gross margin of, 40%. And again, let's say your net profit is 10%, right? And we're dealing in US dollars. So let's just say that these are the 12 strategies: cutting costs. You'll be amazed how much money you can actually save in your business if you really examine and shop things like business insurance, maybe your group benefits, renegotiate with vendors, especially for your things that you buy a lot of. If you're spending $1 million or more with a vendor, there's probably some room to renegotiate your prices. Market dominating position. This tells the world why you're special, what differentiates you from the rest of the pack, why they're silly not to be working with you. Right? And again, I ask most business owners, what's your market dominating position or what's your unique selling proposition, probably more commonly known. We're good at what we do. Well, that's not good enough. Everybody says that we're good at what they do. But if you don't know what separates you from the herd, what separates you, why you're special, why people should be coming to you, guess what? Nobody else does. How do you expect prospective clients, customers, to know what's special about you if you're not sure, you're not clear? Compelling offer. How can you craft an offer that's so compelling people are going to feel foolish not to take it? That's a skill. That's something that can be learned. Also, increase prices. When's the last time your business increased prices? For a lot of businesses, 3 years, 5 years, some people 10 years, scared to lose customers. Well, you can increase, I'm not saying increase your prices by 50% overnight. I'm saying increase your prices systematically, periodically over time, just a few percent. You will lose some customers probably eventually, but again, usually those are the customers you don't want anyway. Everything's on price. They assign no value to the quality of what your service or goods provide. And then there's others: upsell and cross-sell, bundling, downsell, additional products and services, campaign, alliances and joint ventures, more leads and digital marketing. Now again, none of these in and of themselves is going to make that huge of an impact on your business. But what it does is it creates multiple streams of people coming in to visit your business, see what you offer. And again, traffic generates sales. The more traffic you have, the more sales you're likely to have. You have more people coming in just to see what are you offering. So let's just say that we can impact all that we can increase everything just by, on average, 2%. right? What does that do? That takes your profit from $500,000 to 1.139 million, right? It doesn't seem like like a lot. Just 2% in these areas affecting your business by 2%, it's going to double your profit, more than double your profits. What's it going to do for your revenue? It's going to take your revenue from 5 million to 6.2 million. That can be done in a year if you're willing to put in the work, keep things on track, get these strategies put in place in your business in a year. So now we've gotten through the profit accelerator. We got that in place. We're impacting your business every month. We're going through. It's going to take about a year and a half, depending on how fast your people can move, how fast they can execute. But in the meantime, we want to free you from having to work in the business, right? We want to get you working on the business. We want to get you outside. Again, the fallacy most business owners have is that think because I own the business, because I started the business, I'm the best person to run the business, and that's not true. Your personality, what makes you a great entrepreneur, is going to make you a bad manager, right? Being a great entrepreneur means that you see possibilities, you take action, you're willing to take risks, you move fast, you're impatient with the world. Good manager, they want repeatable results all day long. They just want, wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. That kind of action makes entrepreneurs crazy. Don't try and be a good manager. Stay being a great entrepreneur. That's where your business needs you most. So what we can do is find out what are all the critical functions for your business, right? Whatever your business needs to function. And there's several of them. And there are big areas like accounting, like marketing and sales. If you have an inventory management, you have some human resources, some of the big ones, but you can break those all down into smaller processes. What we do is we get those processes to where, number one, we start with what are the results you want to see from those processes? What are the repeatable results that you want to see? Then we design the process to produce that. Then we test the process to make sure that it works. And as those processes set up and everybody's following them, then it gets easy to manage that part of the business just by making sure everybody follows the process. It gives you time, gives you headspace to walk away from that part of the business. So over time, we gradually systematize your whole business in the form of all these processes that are written down, that everybody has, everybody knows, they all understand. And next thing you know, you're going from having a business that seems to be a hand grenade going off every day to where it's highly functional, highly effective, morale goes up, productivity goes up, profits go up. And then also, just so you don't lose touch with your business, is we come up with what's called actionable financial data. And we do that in the form of weekly dashboards where you get to see what your cash flow looks like, cash projection looks like the next 8 to 10 weeks. What do your receivables, your payables look like in terms of aging? Is anything getting too old? You don't want your payables getting too old because vendors might cut you off. You don't want your receivables getting old. The older a receivable gets, the less likely it is collected. Also, look at your inventory. If you have inventory, you don't want your inventory getting too old. You want to identify the older stuff, sell it at cost if you have to, turn that money back into something that's going to turn over for you, right? Also, are your taxes being filed and paid? I can't tell you how many times I've seen businesses just explode because somebody in accounting didn't file some tax return or ignored some taxing authority notices to pay some taxes and penalties. The next thing you know, tax man shows up, they need a check bigger than you can write that day, and the next thing you know, they're seizing your business, closing your doors. You want to make sure that's one of those wakes you up at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night. I wonder if my payroll taxes are being filed and paid. But it could be if you're a construction firm, you have what we call a WIP report, work in process. Manufacturing, what's your cost of manufacturing looking like? Are you keeping your cost in line? And again, they're customizable to every business. Everybody has their own KPIs. So what we want to do is get you those dashboards every week to where you can get 1,000-foot view of your business weekly just by looking at your KPIs. And the reason we call them dashboards, because like the dashboard in your car, the only time you notice something is when it's flashing saying something's wrong. And that's the purpose of your dashboards. And again, if you have a good management team, they're already aware of, quote, the problem, and they have a solution or they have a fix that they're implementing. This way, you don't find out, another dashboard would be your sales for the week, month to date, year to date, against budget. If say your budget's $1 million a month in sales, and it's the middle of the month, second week has gone by, you used to have $500,000 in sales booked. Well, what happens if by the middle of the month, you've only got $250,000 booked? That's a problem. Are people behind? Is the billing department behind getting invoices out? Are sales slow? Is there some big project going on that's going to get billed and catch everything up towards the end of the month? These are things you need to know so you don't get a surprise next month when you look at the financial statement. Oh, revenue was off 30%. So those are the kind of dashboards we can get you, along with the processes, to where now you're pretty much fully able to step out of the business and work strictly on the business, where you're most valuable to your business, where you're going to have the biggest impact, right? Get back to living life with moods of ambition and gratitude and peace and excitement like you had when you first started your business, rather than, oh my God, what are they going to throw at me today? So that's really I guess, in a nutshell. That's not every detail about it, but that should give you an idea of how the process works, or how working with me works, that it's not an overnight thing. It's a gradual progression of getting the business working for you rather than you working for it, and getting you to where you're not working so much in the business, but actually on the business, right? And increasing your profits and cash flow at the same time. Anyway, hope to hear from you. Thanks for watching.